Why would I be mad? You're making a commitment to my daughter. What's more, you actually feel the need to ask me permission. That's not a sign of a good son-in-law. I don't know what is. The Egyptian grinned hopefully. So I can marry her? But of course! Unless she says no, which I doubt. Well, I'll even give you a ring. It was about to snap his fingers and Mother said, actually, I was hoping to buy one myself. You know how I've been working part-time at the perfume shop? Apple Blossom had recommended him for that job 2 years ago, when Discord had told him that he should work to build character. The job turned out to be perfect for him. Since Changelings had an excellent sense of smell, he could tell the perfumes apart without even looking at the labels or opening the bottles. Well, he continued, I haven't really done anything with the money I earned, and it should be enough for a ring. Disco blinked and slapped Mothman on the back, hard enough to knock the wind out of him. You, my boy, have earned my respect. The Disco's face turned to a huge sternness as he leaned in closer. But let's get one thing straight. You and my daughter are not to go any farther than the first meeting until after the wedding. Understand? Mothman gulped and nodded. Understood, sir. Good. The Jaquancus leaned back and smiled. You better make the proposal romantic. Otherwise, she's never going to say yes. Well, unless you use her in prison presence for leverage. But I wouldn't recommend that. So, good luck, I guess. The changing grinned as he slid off the couch. Thanks, Dad. Discord smiled his beard. What was that? Mothman froze and bit his lip. Thanks, Mr. Discord? He turned to see Jaquancus' expression. He couldn't tell if he was shocked, displeased, or touched. Maybe it was all three. Discord shook his head with a huff. Go to bed, kid. Mother complied with his command, but as soon as they were facing away from each other, they could no longer suppress their smiles. What a touching moment. General Mantis was searching the hive for his queen. He had been in this seclusion for days and had only just discovered that she was in the inner chamber. He came across one of the older parts of the hive on the lowest level. He passed by a large hexagonal doorway and stopped. He turned back and realized the chrysalis bear had been blasted through. He pulled back the old, tattered black curtain and found the queen lying in a large, black canopy bed. The room was dusty and hadn't been visited for years. Until now. The general couldn't see the queen's face, but he did see that she held something small in her hooves, which he could not identify. Your Majesty, he spoke softly. Chris's head shot up and turned sharply to the general. Then she let out a sigh and placed her head back in the black pillow. Oh, General, she murmured. It's only you. General Mantis glanced around the room. My queen, is this where you've been for the past few days? She dodged his question with one of her own. How long have you been my General Mantis? He paused upon the question. Almost 1,000 years, my queen. Ah, yes, she nodded. Then you've seen it all. You see why I grieve. He tilted his head. What do you mean, my queen? You remember who stepped in this room. Don't worry about breaking the law. I won't punish you. But you remember, the first one had the ambition, but lacked the power. The second had the power, but lacked ambition. She curled up in a ball. The court general can remember ever seeing the queen this vulnerable. Now, after all these years, she muttered, I still do have an heir. There's still hope, my queen, General Mantis insisted. There are plenty of fertile styles out there for you to 3 months. He blinked. Come again? She sat up and looked at him. In her eyes was something the general had never seen in all the years he had served her. Fear. 3 months, Mantis. Mantis, she repeated in a cracked voice. I haven't given birth in 3 months. The general stiffened at what she was implying. It could just be a hiccup, Your Majesty. After all, 3 months since that, like a... You fool! She bellowed, leaping out the bed onto her hoofs. Don't you realize what is happening? You know as well as I do that when a queen loses her fertility... She stopped suddenly. The general gasped as her legs gave out. He flew over and caught her before she hit the floor. The color had drained from her face and her eyes were glazed over. They looked up wearily at the general. She's no good anymore. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on the other OCs because 1, they are not the main focus of the story. 2, there are things from TMC in the next generation, that's been a series of this universe, I don't want to spoil. But I imagine some of you don't remember much from the last story since it's been so long. Ramdash and Sora have fraternal twins, Thunder and Lightning Dash, and a younger daughter named Prism, one of the main characters in the CMC series. Applejack and Spike have two adopted foals, Cinnamon Stick and Cinnamon Roll, as well as a biological foal, Apple Spike. Rarity and Fancy Pants have two daughters, Gemstone and Jewel. Her birth occurred in the TMC series. Apple Blossom is Big Mac and Shirley's daughter. And, yes, I named Twilight's daughter Twinkle Sparkle. Don't kill me. Anyway, I hope this time skip wasn't too confusing. FYI, the apple tart in here is not the one mentioned in the Apple Family Reunion. I just couldn't think of an apple name. Consider it a family name.